What's going on, YouTube? My name is Zach with Android Digest, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8. So with that being said, let's get right into it. So the Tab S8, it's a device that I think a lot of people are going to overlook. It's not the biggest and most expensive tablet out there, so a lot of people are just missing how good this tablet really is. And there's also people who work for Android websites who hate Galaxy Tabs, and Galaxy Tabs, they are just thrown off as terrible tablets. A lot of people say the apps aren't optimized, the tablet is trash, it's not anywhere close to as good as an iPad, and people just forget how good these Galaxy tablets really are. So I want to be critical and be honest about this device, but at the same time, I want to tell you, this is a tablet that you should really consider buying. But there is a market for this tablet, just like the Tab S8 Plus looks for someone who wants a little bit of a bigger tablet, and the Tab S8 Ultra, it's really seeking someone who wants a monstrous tablet. Well, this is a tablet that is smaller and lighter, and it's really meant to be brought with you on the go. This tablet is 11 inches, and if you look at the design, it's very similar to the Tab S7, but that's not a bad thing either. The Tab S7 had a great design, and they did improve it a little bit. They made sure that this device is a little more durable. That's a good thing, and it does feel a little more premium in my hands. You do still have dual speakers on both sides, which is a good thing. You do have your USB-C port here, and you still have a micro SD card slot. Now, there's no headphone jack. That is a little bit of a bummer, but outside of that, there's a lot of good things to like, and of course, the S Pen does still come in the box. And when I look at this tablet, and I look at something like the display, I look at the performance, and I look at the totality of what this tablet is, this tablet, you are going to have a couple minor compromises, but in exchange for those minor compromises, you're going to save a ton of money. And honestly, a lot of people think they're compromising a ton when they're getting this Tab S8, and the truth is, you're really not. This has the same processor as the Tab S8 Plus and the S8 Ultra. It's the Qualcomm Snapdragon Gen 1 processor. It has 8GB of RAM in the base model and 128GB of storage, just like the Tab S8 Plus. So you do have the same power in this tablet compared to the Tab S8 Plus or the S8 Ultra. So saving a little bit of money and getting this tablet, you're not really going to be missing a lot. But one of the things that you will be missing is in the display. So this does have a TFT display. It's not an OLED display. It is 120 Hz, and it does have a tremendous resolution. The resolution on this tablet is 2560 by 1600, and everything does look great on this display. I think a lot of people, if they look close between this and the Tab S8 Plus, you might notice a little bit of a difference, but honestly, I think your average person, if you're just using this day to day, and then you pick up a Tab S8 Plus, I don't think people would notice a significant difference. I think the people that would mainly notice a difference between the Tab S8 and the S8 Plus, it's really those people who really look really hard, who really want the best of the best all of the time. But realistically, the display on the Tab S8 is so good, and honestly, I think it's criminally underrated how good the display is for the Tab S7 and also for this Tab S8. The colors do look really good, but the big thing about the display you need to know is, of course, it's a little smaller. 11 inches is a little bit of a smaller display, and that does affect how this device works. So if you do put a keyboard cover on this, for example, and I did make a video about the keyboard covers for this device, but the keyboard covers, no matter which one it is, whether it's the slim one or the keyboard cover that actually was made for that Tab S7, either one of those keyboard covers will work for this device, but the problem is they are very, very crammed. When you have an 11-inch tablet and you're making a keyboard cover to fit the screen exactly, that means the keys are going to be a little more crammed together, so it's going to be a little bit harder to type on your lap. And I did miss a few more keys compared to other devices like the Tab S8 Plus. Because the Tab S8 Plus is a little bit larger, it does have a little more room to operate with. But if you're willing to live with that compromise, and if you're willing to live with this device not having an OLED display, you need to know the display is still really, really good. And the person that should really think about buying this tablet is the person that wants a device that's super portable. Not everyone wants a 14-inch tablet. You have to remember that a 14-inch tablet is very, very heavy. If you're trying to game on it, you would have to put put it down on a table. It's not something that you would hold for a long period of time. But this 11-inch tablet is so lightweight that if I was doing something like teaching, for example, and I wanted to bring this around and read off it and really use this just to read things and actually use it for instruction, for example, this would be a tremendous tablet for that because it's so darn lightweight. And a tablet like the S8 Ultra, for example, that's going to be way too heavy for stuff like that. So the benefit of having a tablet like this is having something super thin, super light, but also something that actually has a lot of firepower under the hood. Again, if you run benchmarks with this and the Tab S8 Ultra, you're not going to see a significant difference. Since it does have the Qualcomm Snapdragon Gen 1 processor, 8 gigabytes of RAM, it's going to be very, very fast. And also, on top of being fast and on top of having a top-of-the-line processor, it's going to have top-of-the-line speed, but also that means the GPU performance is also improved in this device. So that means things like gaming and video editing, they are much better on this device. And honestly, if you compare a tablet like this to an iPad, one thing that the Tab S8 is going to do really well is multitask. You could have windows that are vertical, horizontal, you could have 3 apps open at the same time, and you could also use Samsung DeX, which in a way, it's like a different skin for Android. It actually turns Android into like a laptop operating system so that you could actually have little windows pop up and so that you could multitask a lot easier. Now there's one other minor compromise though you will get with this Tab S8. The S Pen latency is a little bit lower on the Tab S8 Plus and the S8 Ultra, but this Tab S8, it did not get that improved S Pen latency. But honestly, I have to be completely real here. I didn't even notice any latency in the Tab S7 anyway, and when I was using this Tab S8 and comparing it with the Tab S8 Plus, I didn't notice any difference in S Pen performance. But if you are an artist, it is something to keep in mind. Maybe you do want that slightly lower latency, but it's not something I noticed as a non-artist. Now the battery is 8,000 milliamps in this tablet, and I know the Tab S8 Plus has a little bit of a larger battery, but remember that that battery also has to power a larger screen. And this device right here, because the screen is a little bit smaller, it actually is a little more battery efficient, and because of that, the battery life will be about the same compared to the Tab S8 Plus or the Tab S8 Ultra. So overall, if you look at this whole package, right, you are going to get 45 watt fast charging. You're going to get a ton of the same features compared to the S8 Plus and the S8 Ultra. So if you're on the market and you're looking for a tablet, I really think that this is a great tablet to consider. Something like an iPad mini has that jelly scrolling effect that some people are having issues with. It also has a 60 Hz refresh rate. It doesn't come with the S Pen in the box. It doesn't have all the multitasking features that Android tablets have. Now I know Android tablets don't have the best track record with optimizing apps for tablets, and I know iPads will have an advantage in that regard, and iPads also have a couple of extra apps for video editing and for picture editing and things like that. But if you step outside of that, there are still a ton of awesome benefits to these Galaxy tablets. The multitasking is tremendous. You also have Samsung DeX, which is also great. You have the S Pen that comes in the box, and Android overall, it's still more customizable than the iPad operating system. I think this tablet is definitely worth recommending, but I do think you have to consider who you are when you're looking at this tablet. If you are someone that wants to do more productivity work, you want to use a keyboard a little more often, remember that the keyboard is going to be a little crammed on this device. The Tab S8 Plus might be a better option because the keyboard will be a little bit larger. If you want the biggest screen out there, you want the best of the best, of course the Tab S8 Ultra is the one to go with. And by the way, it does have backlighting as well in the keyboard. That's a welcome upgrade. Also, the Tab S8 Ultra does have some extra cool features, and if you're someone that really loves to draw, you want the best canvas out there, you want the best S Pen latency, right? If that's you, you would want, of course, the S8 Ultra. And I think it's a great device, and I'm going to review it soon. But if you're someone who's really more concerned with the power, if you don't mind having a non-OLED screen, because trust me, it still looks very, very good. And if you don't mind the fact that this does not have the lower S Pen latency, if you're willing to deal with that compromise, if you're willing to deal with the compromise with this being a TFT display, listen, this is a tremendous device. This is a tablet that's for those people that want something very, very portable, they want something very, very light, but they still want the same firepower as those other higher end Android tablets. And if you're willing to live with a couple of compromises, you could get something that's very, very powerful in a very, very portable package. I think the fingerprint sensor being in the power button is a great thing. I think it's so much more portable and lightweight compared to those other tablets. And this tablet, honestly, it's a tremendous device that a lot of you should consider buying, especially considering the price tag tag and how much cheaper it will be compared to other tablets on the market. Just remember, if you check the links in the description, Samsung often has a ton of great trade-in deals, and even if you don't have a tablet to trade in, maybe you could buy one for even cheaper than what Samsung is offering, and you could trade it into Samsung after you buy it. And Samsung also has a lot of great educational discounts as well, so make sure to check those links in the description, and that is one way to support my channel, and hopefully this video has really helped you to make a decision on the Tab S8. Please give me a like if you liked this video, and also sub to my channel. That is a big way to support me. And by the way, if you have any questions at all, you can leave a comment and I will be happy to walk through any questions you have. And also, I really hope if you have any extra time, you can check out some extra videos. So have a great day, enjoy your week, and stay safe in all these wild and crazy times.